So that would be a case of something that is makruh. Now, in the case of haram, you are, of course, you are sinful. D-O-P, what is that? Deserving of punishment if you do it, and you are rewarded for leaving it. Y'all hear me on this? You are rewarded for leaving it. Allah is so kind. Allah is so just. Right? There's at one point I just want to point out really quickly in this section on the rules of Shari'ah. What's beautiful about this is that sadly we've become a deen where we're like, that's halal, that's haram, that's haram. You can't do that, that's haram. And many times we teach our children based on that, right? Like we are the deen of no. But there are 4 things, right, that are halal. There are 4 things that are permissible. So there are 4 more positives before we get to the point of saying this is haram. You with me? You have way more options. Allah is giving you so many more options before you get to the point of haram. Before we get to this. Okay, so what would be haram? What is haram? Backbiting, right? Drinking alcohol. Carrying tales. What's an example of carrying tales? He said it so nicely, you almost it sounds kind of aloof, right? Like something from a fairy tale. Carrying tales. Girl, let me tell you what he said. I was in the masjid. That brother, I saw, okay, so what happened was, when I was in the masjid last night, such and such, they was here, then he, you know what I'm saying, his wife, she was home, he coming with the new chick, right, trying to, like, he gonna bring her to the masjid, right, and all this, while the imam is blah, 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 blah. For example, right, you carrying tales. You went to you went to the masjid yesterday? Mm-hmm. Who was there? Both of y'all. In the state of Quran. Who was there? What happened? What they said? Did he talk about this? Did he mention that? Like what he was wearing? Oh, okay. Like both of y'all in the state of Quran. Right? Both of you. Abandon that. Khalas. Abandon that. That's carrying tales. That's gossiping. Now, I want us to understand, of course, backbiting. We're not going to go through this really fast. Backbiting is, tell me what is backbiting quickly. Right? To say something about your brother or sister that they disliked, even if it's true. And none of that, I said it behind her back. I say it to her face. Right? Or we love to say that. No, what I'm telling you, don't even worry about it, because I would say that to her face, so I can tell you, no, you're still backbiting. Right? You're still backbiting. You could be talking to them. You could be talking to them, and that's still backbiting. Right? So you think we have a saying in our culture, Allah help us? I don't know where we got this from. Let me bless you for a minute. Right? I got to tell her about herself. Because if I don't tell her, then she ain't gonna know. Or if I don't tell her, she might go around and do that to somebody else. No, somebody got to check her. Somebody got to check her. But dear God, don't let it be you. Make dua, go pray to Rakah, ask Allah to guide her, ask Allah to guide you. Right? That's not from our way. And subhanAllah, if we could get that, we'd be so much stronger as an ummah. How does that? That's a very good question. So, I'll give you a really beautiful example, right? He said in the case of Nasiha, the most beautiful, sweetest example I can think of is in the case of Hassan and Hussein when they were little boys, right? So Hassan and Hussein, they see one of the older, what we call the uncles in the community, they see him making wudu improperly, right? And so they see him making wudu improperly, so they decide, like, how are we going to tell him? How are we going to, let him know that he's making wudu improperly. So they come up with this game, basically, where they're saying, we're going to go to him, we're going to tell him that we're having a competition, right? And we'll let him be the judge of the competition. And so it was who's making wudu the best? Which one of us has the best wudu? And so they go to him and said, uncle, we're having this debate with my brother about which one of us is making wudu the best, making wudu properly. So can you be the judge of it? So he's like, okay. So they begin to make their wudu, and as a result, of course, the older companion recognized that he was making wudu improperly. This is the most beautiful, sweetest of examples, right? Like, I'm not going to call him out straight. I'm not going to, disrespect him. And most times this is used in we think about the adab that children should have with the elders, but this is also the adab we should have with each other. Right? So you see a sister not wearing her kimar properly, right? They'll be like, you need to fix that. Do you know that's wrong? Girl, you're going to blow up in hell. No, there might be a better method. We're in the bathroom. Ooh, you know what? I make sure that I'm covered. Did you see my skin? Am I missing on any area? Right? I just want to make sure I'm straight. Right? There are many other beautiful ways to address that. I don't have a lot of brotherly examples. I don't know what y'all do to each other. Right? I know it's a lot. Y'all chopping each other up. But Allah make